Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to see you here. What we're going to talk about today is how to talk to deceased people using tarot cards. And who doesn't want to connect with a loved one? We all have loved ones on the other side and we miss them terribly, and it would be nice to have a way to talk to them. So I'm going to let you in on how I do it and how I talk to deceased loved ones. Now, my page is called Tarot Medium. Why? Because I can talk to deceased people with tarot cards. That's right, with amazing accuracy. So you can do it too. And I'm going to share some secrets with you about how I do it. So the first thing that's important is to have a deck where the artwork conveys the messages that your deceased loved ones would want to bring to you. So the artwork is everything. In fact, the artwork is almost all of it. Rarely will I go to the definition of that card, the core definition of the card. Rarely. 99% I go for the artwork because that's the deceased person impressing upon me which card to pull, and then I view what's going on in that card and I read the card like a story, if that makes sense. So first of all, you have to have artwork, a deck that has artwork that would convey messages, and steampunk is one of them. This is the steampunk. This is one of them that I use that's very, very accurate. The second one that I'm a little more careful and cautious with is Anna Kay. The reason I'm a little more cautious with Anna Kay is there are some pretty dark cards in here, and fear-based cards. So you just have to be a little careful with the Anna Kay. Now, can you use regular tarot? This, you can. This is the Witch's Tarot, and this one has some nice artwork in it. And however, I really haven't used this a whole lot for communicating with the deceased. Same with, regular tarot that has Rider-Waite symbols in it. Because I use the artwork, the actual type of card that I use, it doesn't matter. It's the art. What are they conveying? What is the artist conveying in that card that is in harmony with the deceased one's messages? So let's just say I'm going to use my steampunk here, and someone has come to me and they have said, I have a loved one on the other side that I want to contact. And so I would say, okay, what is their first name? And I kind of like just tune in and call in that person. And then I just go like this. There's no special way to shuffle. It can be however you want. And then I'll just fan them out and I'll just pick one. And whichever one you pick is the one that you'll use. Now, this is the Emperor, and this person, I would say, they must have had a special chair. Like they sat in this chair all the time. Like when you went to visit them, they had a favorite chair. And also this person might have had a strong personality. They might have worn glasses. They might have liked the nicer things in life because, it looks like a very fancy chair. Maybe they were an antique collector. You might hone in on their shoes, like somebody, there was a decision being made about maybe whether or not you should put shoes on them or something to do with someone's shoe. I mean, you talk about what is going on in the card. You just keep talking about the card and what you see in the card. And so we can ask this person, do you have a message? Does this person have, because everybody likes to have a message from a loved one who's crossed over. So once again, I'll get up here and I'll get the cards. I'll think of that person's name and I'll say, what message would you convey? Look at this. They want them to celebrate. This is spirits, and actually this is funny because it does say best ales, wines, and spirits. It's kind of like a celebration time coming up. So they're celebrating. This could be someone who wants you to know that they were at the celebration of life, right? Because this is a celebrating card. Or maybe you have a toast. You're giving them a toast, like, at their date of their death or anniversary or a birthday. You're going to say, hey, here's a toast to so-and-so. So that's one of the ways that I read the cards that way. Maybe the person was a drinking partner with that person. Maybe they went out to a restaurant and they enjoyed flavorful wines or something like that. Or they're very social. That card could be very social. We'll do one with Anna Kay, and we'll see, we'll ask, let's say the person has, someone else that they want to call in, and we'll use the Anna Kay, and you'll see the little difference in the artwork there. So we'll call in that person's name and whoever that is, and then see the person fishing here. So then I would ask them, this can literally mean fishing, or it could mean somebody that's outdoorsy, somebody that wore like a special hat. Maybe they wore a hat. So draw on every single detail that you can in the card, okay? Now the Page of Pentacles could also, pages are young people. It could be that they left behind a young person and that they're thinking of them. Or even this card could be that, when you teach someone to fish, you're teaching them a valuable skill. And the Page of Pentacles is all about learning. So there's a lot that you can cover in these cards. Using the regular deck, or a different deck, this one is very unique, and I haven't used it very often, but we can say, what message does their loved one want to say to them? And I have no idea what this is going to bring. I haven't used this deck to communicate with them. Oh, look at this, happy family. Look at their over the rainbow bridge. I love how the tarot, this is a happy family, and they're happy on the other side. They're happy on the other side, the rainbow bridge. They just want you to be happy. They just want happiness. Wow, that was really cool. And then I'm going to use a deck that would totally, it's the Druid Craft deck, would totally not use this. So we're tap into your past loved one, and same thing. It doesn't matter how you shuffle. Doesn't matter how you shuffle. You can just grab the card. You can even go do a cut like this and take the first card. So they're carrying a bunch of spears. They're throwing some spears. This is a deck that would be almost impossible to do. Everybody's walking, walking with a dog almost off a cliff. This would be really hard to do readings. And I use this for past lives, but I would never use this for connecting with someone from the other side. And then if you did use like Robin Wood or something more traditional, and you asked for this person to come in, sometimes I like to use the card to describe. The first card I like to describe to make sure I have them. And so this one is the Two of Pentacles. So maybe in the end they had financial trouble, or they lost their balance. Maybe they lost their balance. Ironically, they're flying up in the heavens. See the ships flying up in the heavens? So it could be that the time of their passing was very turbulent too, because this can be turbulent. Look at the clouds in there. So sometimes I like to use the card to kind of describe, this is the kind of person they are, and then I go on and give them the message. So if you have decks that have artwork that portray what that person would want you to know, like this is somebody that is obviously, the person left behind is really struggling, like they can't sleep at night, they're under so much stress. And here, I love this card because they are always fascinated, if they aren't familiar with the tarot, that I can tap into them with the tarot. And sometimes they'll bring this card up and they'll be, I just cannot believe that you're reading paper and talking to me. They're just amazed that way. There's lots of cards where they're sending signs. Like this is like they're sending coins, right? They're sending coins. And here they are sending signs. Here they are, maybe with an angel. Can you see that this deck it's absolutely amazing. Here they're with a loved one, and there's kind of like a rainbow bridge over them. There's some battles and troubles from the people left behind. This is just a wonderful deck. Has great artwork for, I'm trying to find some of the other cards here. Look at this card. Someone is visiting the grave. See the person in the background visiting the grave? And so that's an interesting card too. So I like Steampunk and Anna Kay. You might find some other decks, but whatever you do, just try it. Just try and see how it goes for you. And let me know in your comments below if this worked for you, if you enjoyed the process, if you found a deck. Let me know what deck you found that works for you. But definitely make an effort to reach out to your loved ones with the tarot cards. and see, you know, how this goes for you. And maybe you'll want to write in a journal kind of what your notes are, so that as you keep the communication going, that you can see how it will evolve from when you first tapped into them. All right. Thank you.